What's good, everybody? I'm Neal, Newberry, host of Live from the Nickel.
What's good, everybody? I'm Neal Newberry, host of Live from the Nickel. We back at it Sunday afternoon. It's a little chilly out there, you guys, so make sure you guys are staying warm. If you don't gotta go out, don't go out, because it's cold. It's super cold. We got a real good show today. I have a great guest today. She is amazing. But before I get to my guest, I want to thank everybody that's subscribing to the podcast. Keep it coming. I really love that. You know, we're sponsored by School Matters. If you guys want the hoodies, you guys know how to get in touch with me. Hit me on IG, hit me on TikTok. You can hit me on everything, Facebook, everything, because we're across the board on everything on that. But if you want the hoodies, you guys know what it is. Next week, we're going to be at a very great establishment. It's called the Voodoo Brewery on Central Avenue. I got a lot of things I'm going to be doing for that. It's going to be a great show. Wayne is a terrific individual out there. It's just getting going, so not a lot of people know about it. But I'm gonna bring it to life when we be there next Sunday. So make sure y'all tune in for that show. Miss Amanda, what's up, sis?
Man, another week in the books.
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
cold, and another week that my Bengals are losing. It's making me sad. And it's another game we should win. Listen, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Joe's tired of it. Amanda's tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I would agree with y'all on that. I mean, my team played Thursday night. Tampa Bay lost.
That was
And
a rough
Tom
one,
Bowles
too.
is
That
more
was
like
rough.
a minister. Yeah, it was rough. I broke 2 remotes. I don't have an anger problem, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. I really don't. But I was so disgusted because we lost to 2 of our rivals that were in our division, the Saints the week before, and we lost to Atlanta. And I don't understand it.
Where is Baker Magic?
I don't know. He's
Is
running
waiting
around
for
like he
Baker
don't want.
Magic?
He just needs to make a decision. If you're gonna run. Don't run around in circles and get tired. But I don't even want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it because I was disgusting. Mr. Brown is not here today. I will deal with Mr. Brown on another time. He had some family over yesterday. They got a little in. It's all up. It's okay. I got my sister in the
He's
building.
missing, but he's not. We're not sure.
Yeah, it's all good. But let me tell you about our guest we got. This young lady is amazing, you know. So I got to sit down with her on a one-on-one and at a coffee shop. And it was great. Good. I mean, when you talking to her, it's like talking to Martha Stewart, talking to Oprah Winfrey. She is that good. She is that great. She's one of a kind. Licensed therapist for 23 years. 23 years, that's a long time. That's a long time to be doing what she's doing. And then she was a former D1 player at Xavier. Like I said, her accolades are ridiculous. I'm gonna tap into what I got right here. You know what I'm saying? She is a cold. Let me show y'all something. This, I got the package. I gotta get the package so I can tap in on it and do it right. You know what I'm saying? I got to tell it all. You got to tell it all about our guest, because this guest is a very, very good person, and she's doing a lot for the city. And she is from the city, but she's not from the city. But I'm gonna get into where she is. She is a former college crew, high school coach, a school counselor, D1 college, coach of a wife for 19 years. Wow, that's a long time. 19 years. 19 years. We're gonna tap into that too. I need some help with that. You know what I'm saying?
Coach's wife.
Absolutely. Coach's wife, ladies and gentlemen. In 2022, Janelle opened up an ability counseling group called the ACG in response for the increase in the mental health. So she works with mental health people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need right now, because what's going on in the world, across the world, it's sad to see a lot of mental health, and I have family members that deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy situation. She is and who am I speaking about, you guys? Is Janelle Massey. She's the founder and the co-host of the Athlete Mental Summit. Thank you for coming on the Nickel, Janelle.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You have amazing accolades, just across the board of what you have done.
Thank you.
But before we start tapping into this, I need you to do 2 things for me.
Okay.
I gotta give you a acceptance gift. All our guests that come on the show, we give them a gift to show our appreciation
Okay.
to what they're doing and coming onto our platform. So Nick, can you hand that to this young lady for me?
Thank you.
So that's to show our appreciation to it. You know, you can wear it with pride.
I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
I love
You know what I'm
it.
saying? We have a card in there from my sponsor, Miss Evelyn, over at School Matters. So,
Yes.
you know, get that out there. You know, people don't. And then the second thing, I need your John Hancock.
Okay.
And you can sign anywhere on the helmet you want to.
Awesome.
Yes.
Can I put number 10, like my old number? when I used to
Absolutely,
play?
absolutely. Put it on there. I like that. Put your number 10 on there.
Definitely.
So, Janelle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and I'll have to say, as I'm looking at the sweatshirt saying the nickel, it means a lot to me because when I went back into working into the schools, I worked in Toledo Public Schools for a little bit as a school counselor,
Yep.
and I was on the east side,
Mm-hmm.
and the nickel is the east side, right?
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
they hold a special part in my heart, and everybody around me was like, well, what buildings are you in? I was like, I'm in Garfield, I'm in Rainbow, I'm in East Side,
Yeah.
and they was like, whoa, and I was like, no, but I've been around the block. Right,
No,
and
you're
so
right.
I understand love, I understand loyalty, and I understand taking care of people, and that's what the 05 does. So I appreciate. I get to rock the Nichols
Yes.
hoodie.
And it's nice and warm for this cold.
Absolutely.
Right,
I
right.
love that, you know, I mean, coming up, growing up over there, it was so much fun. And it's got, you know, as time go, things change.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know, I still have, growing up with my mom's side of the family is the Peacocks. So I was always around my mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it's just the love, coming up, block parties, going to church.
Yeah.
You know, cutting the church grass. That's when I first learned, you know, responsibility.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? My mom, and I credit my mom and my dad and my grandparents because they taught me well. So,
Yeah.
you know, I thought when I started this podcast, me and Mr. Brown and brought Nick and then we brought Amanda on and stuff like that. They've been a very, very good help. But this is a beautiful thing we're doing and we're going to keep it going.
Love it.
But we're gonna tap in to let our guests know
Okay.
about you. So it's always ladies first to go
Oh.
first. You know what I'm saying? So Miss Amanda, go ahead and rip it.
So nice of you.
Absolutely, ladies
I
first.
I just kind of want to start out with, if you could tell us a little bit about the Agility Counseling Group and how you got that started.
Yeah, so interesting that you even asked that question because last week I was in New Mexico, about an hour south of Albuquerque. And I was there for this certification program. I got selected as one of 50 professionals in the mental health space to be a part of this retreat/certification program by one of my favorite thought leaders, Dr. Susan David. She's from South Africa, and she wrote a book called Emotional Agility. And when I read that from front to back, I thought this fits well as a framework for athletes who I majority work with. So the majority of my clients are college and high school athletes. I have some retired and a few professional athletes and coaches. But going through that book, I was like, I'm gonna name my book after this framework. And who doesn't appreciate agility from an athletic perspective,
Absolutely.
but also to be able to be flexible with our emotions because, as you mentioned, times are hard.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we got to keep going, and a lot of times we get stuck, and we need to be agile with our emotions. So that's why you have the Agility Counseling Group, and we're 2 years strong, private practice, and I do telehealth and in person. I do a lot of traveling for a lot of the collegiate teams that I work for. So yeah, we are growing too. So I have some other therapists who are working with me as well.
Beautiful.
That's really
Beautiful.
exciting. Would you share with us, I guess, just a little bit about how important mental health is in sports?
So one of the things that I am clear about is I'm not a sports psychologist, right? And so when people ask me about how important mental health is in sports, I want to remind people that it's important because we're dealing with human beings in sports, right? And so a lot of times, the focus is on performance.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And sports psychologist training is in motivation, concentration, focus, and performance based. And so as a mental health clinician, I found through my own journey of playing at Xavier and being married to a college coach for almost 20 years and being in close proximity with his players at several universities that we've been at, I realized that we have to look at the human being first. So regardless if they play sports or not, but especially athletes, because oftentimes their humanity is looked over and their performance is out front. So I don't care who you are as a person as long as you can do X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely, I agree, absolutely. I think sometimes, so much is expected of you performance-wise when you're an athlete or a professional athlete, that how you feel or what you're feeling or what you're doing might be pushed to the side.
Yeah.
People forget that you're a human.
Yes. Grief is pulled aside, like everything is. It's suck it up and play.
Absolutely. So as a former coach and player, how important do you think the coaching-player relationship is?
That's why I got a job.
Amen to that.
It's interesting because like when we talk about like back in the day, we can name somebody who was instrumental in our lives. And a lot of times it's a teacher, it's a coach, right? And it's usually someone who we spend a lot of time with. They were not perfect, but they had our best interest in heart. They wanted us to fulfill our potential.
Yes.
And not only on the court, but like they wanted us to be good people outside of the court. And so coaches are very influential, impactful for our kids. Somehow over the years, coaches have shifted mindset and like very focused on X's and O's and winning games.
Yes, yes.
And maybe it's because of the transition of players, like just like you have the transfer portal at the college level, but like, let's be real, kids was moving, being recruited to private schools.
Absolutely.
So you have this like just movement where you didn't even have enough time to form a rapport in order to do the things versus back in the day, we didn't move schools.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the focus has been on winning with who we have right now. And I think they have missed, like, let's get to know the players. My husband knows siblings, grandparents, who died in their family, and he doesn't get to know that as much because when you have 12 players that left your team last year, it's hard because it's transactional and it's evolving, rotating all the time. So it's crucial. If coaches are not creating a psychological space for kids to be free, and what I mean by that is take risks. Like think about it, take risks. Our players don't even take risks anymore.
Exactly.
They're scared to play.
And that's the thing about with the NIL, man. I talk to so many people about that. It's hard, like we said, coming back in the day, you got to have a bond with your player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know everything about your player.
Sure.
What's going on with this? If you could tell something's going on,
Yes.
you can have it. Now you can't even build that bond with these people because, and once again, I'm not knocking the NIL. I'm really not, because I'm all for these kids getting their money. But we have to put a cap on these things now because you have a team. You can have this team over here at Toledo doing a great thing, and then the next year you might have 5 or 6 leave. So now you got to jump back and
Or 12.
12 or 12. Yeah. So how you can't build something because everybody is chasing the dollar.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, are we really going to blame 18 and 19-year-olds for chasing dollars when
No.
they can make a significant impact in their family?
Especially if you come from
When
nothing.
we're 18
Especially
and
if you come
19
from
years
19,
old.
yes. Yeah.
If you struggled, watch your mom work 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Father's not in the picture.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming the kids because the kids. Let's go back in the day with the Fab Five and anybody that struggled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they struggled tremendously. These universities making all this money. I'm all for these kids making money, but we have to do something about this.
Yeah.
Because it's getting a little out of control. You have
There was no structure.
there's none at
There
all.
was no structure.
Same thing with the coaches.
Yeah.
Now the coaches like, you know what? I'm gonna just jump ship too. Because if the kids can do it, well, I mean I don't.
Yeah, well, they've always been able to do it.
Exactly. Now it's just I think it's just getting out of control now. The dollar
Yeah.
amount, it's just
Yeah.
it's mayhem. I never thought I would see it like this.
It's a lot. There's a lot of chaos, and because there's so much going on at the college level,
Mhm.
I think we forget about high school. And so
Absolutely.
that's why I have shifted a little bit, not even a little, a lot, in focusing on programming at the high school level.
I like that.
Because it's a lot going on at the college level.
Absolutely.
And they're so reactive. There was a young lady from Rice University, soccer player, that killed herself. And it's happening at the college level a lot.
Yes.
And they're doing everything they can to provide mental health services. But if we don't start at the high school level and prepare
Yes.
kids,
Yes.
they're gonna be reactive.
Even if you start touching them a little bit in junior high.
Absolutely.
You know, because
Let them
that's,
know that it's
yes,
okay to talk about how you feel to people.
Yeah.
these kids are, you're putting a lot of pressure on these young kids when they get into high school. You know, because once again, being a single mom, you know, facing to raise 4, 5, 6 kids in the house, and you have a son that's, you know, you're putting so much expectations on these
Yeah.
kids, and then they get into the next level, and they're wearing, they shouldn't have to have that much pressure on them to provide, to be the leader of the household. It's just too much.
And you know, Ohio is past the NIL for high school.
Yeah, I did see that. I you know, the funny thing is I have a cousin that coaches at Bowser, and I was talking to him about that. And he just said, "Cuz, I don't know, man. This is,
It's strange territory.
it really is,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, people like you, I think can make some change. Yeah, I think it could be some change, and us having this platform, bringing people on like yourself and anybody else to what we can do to help the youth. And that's what it's all about, man, because seeing these young folks carry so much weight, they shouldn't have to carry that much weight.
Yeah.
Nobody should.
There's a
at that
lot of
young age.
pressure, and you add the stressors from social media and
Doesn't make it any
other
better.
things that factor into it. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure.
They are.
They're under a lot of stress.
They are.
And we need all the help we can get to help them out. They always say it takes a village, and it really does.
The kids are our future.
Absolutely.
You know.
And our coaches need to know that they need help. You know, sometimes they can be a little overconfident.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. No, I agree with you fully on that. I agree with you fully on that.
It's hard to do these programs and they don't feel like that pertains to them. And it's like, no, actually, you need to come.
This is for everyone.
This is for everyone.
This is for everyone.
Absolutely.
You gotta learn too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think are maybe some positive things that we can do to help athletes cope with the different toxic stress that they have to deal with almost on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I want to be leery about saying that our youth is experiencing toxic stress and trauma. Unfortunately, because of social media, we have a lot of pseudo-clinicians who are saying a lot of things that are just not research sound, evidence-based, and just full of crap, really. And so when we think about mental health, it's a continuum, meaning that it can be sucky and you are trying to survive one day and you are thriving a week later or the next day. And so when we talk about good mental health or mental wellness, it is not the absence of uncomfortable emotions, nor is it the removal of adversities. So a lot of times we're looking at high school kids, and because there's so much attention on mental health, we're saying, oh my gosh, we need to help these kids, we need to help these kids. Why? Because they have uncomfortable emotions? Because they're facing adversity? Or is that part of life and we're teaching them the strategies to endure, be agile, and be flexible with that? Like, sports back in the day prepared folks for adversity in life.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I lost my state semi soccer game in high school. I didn't think I was gonna live.
Oh, yeah. First day of your life.
It took my breath away.
Absolutely.
Because we were supposed to win, and we were shocked that we did not. And later on at the college level, because I had that experience that built capacity, I was able to get through it. So what can we do? We can tell young people that life is gonna be hard, sports is gonna be hard. Not abusive, right? Like, you know, your coach should have some respect and decorum and all the things about it, but them telling you that you can do more, you need to be on time, you need to do these things, it is not a mental health stressor, right? So we've got to clear that up first.
It's a life skill and not a roadblock for you.
Yes. And not everything is, we're running away from uncomfortable feelings. So even adults, I'm checking this, Don't tell me you're protecting your peace. Because if you have real peace, it doesn't need protected.
Absolutely.
What you're doing is running from uncomfortable people, hard conversations, and conflict.
A situation you don't wanna deal with, so
Yeah.
you'd rather just run away from it.
In the name of protecting your peace.
Right.
And so because adults are thinking this way, we now feel like we have to be very hyper-focused on kids not experiencing any conflict,
Exactly.
tough
Put the bubble on
conversation.
them.
Yeah, so I think we clear that up, but then I think we also, and the kids know that it's okay to feel.
Absolutely.
Back in the day, it was like, oh, you crying?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like you weren't allowed to have
Yes.
feelings that weren't
Absolutely.
cool or positive, right? Like what you crying for?
Exactly.
Or, oh, he's a punk or he's weak because, he's crying in the locker room after a game. Well, he cares. He didn't play well. And so those are natural emotions from someone. Now, if they're causing a scene, then it's like we gotta talk about emotional regulation.
Facts.
But I think nowadays the kids, because of social media, there's a lot of validation going on, maybe a little too much.
I agree with you.
But
I
I
agree with
think
you. I agree with
kids
you.
I
understand
agree.
that they're allowed to have feelings, which is cool. But let's stay in the moment of uncomfortable pressure
Mm-hmm.
so that we know how to practice regulating those emotions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know if I answered that question,
No,
I kinda
you
went
did
around the bush,
perfectly.
but.
No, it
I
was
told you, she
perfect.
nice with it. She nice with it. You gotta give it. That's why she's
Oh,
on
we
this.
gotta educate folks.
Do you have
Absolutely.
any advice that you would give someone who might be experiencing some of the issues that we talked about today?
Yeah, I mean, so what is happening with athletes in particular is that although they're seeing all these things on social media that it's okay to feel, they're also seeing the opposite because they're seeing people's highlight reels, right? So they're seeing athletes not being phased, like no problem, like they're pretending to have it all together and do all the things. So athletes a lot of them are isolating themselves and feeling like they're the only one that's experiencing these things. And so we always tell folks, say something, right? Like tell somebody how you're feeling, because you do need community and know that you're not crazy or you're not the weakest athlete or you're not mentally tough. You need perspective on where you are.
Right.
Don't
stay so much in your own head, let that out.
Yeah.
Voice that.
Yeah,
So that you realize it's not just you and a lot of people are going through what you're
Yeah.
going through.
This generation is the most isolated.
Yeah.
They do not know how to have community outside of the screen. And so our job is a little harder in creating these spaces to say, talk to them face to face, not in the comment section.
Exactly.
Because this helps.
Well, yeah, because we're in the age of a quick text. Nobody's talking. We don't have landlines. Nobody's having hour-long phone conversations anymore at night. And
I hate that.
yeah, everything's
I
allowed,
hate
and
that.
and
The
people's
texting.
whole lives are out there on social media, and
Right.
people a lot of times overshare things.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And I guess my final question would be, what is something that you like to do for yourself to maybe kind of wind down and relax off of your busy schedule,
Woo.
right? If you ever have time.
Mm.
I don't know if you ever get time.
No,
but
we have to make time.
I
Amanda.
agree.
We gotta
yes,
make time.
I agree.
And I'm still working on that. I chuckled because my first thought was eat, which is not a great coping strategy. And I'm knocking on 50. And I gotta take care of my body, right? But sometimes I forget and think I'm an athlete and I can just eat whatever I want and then kill myself on the track. But it don't work like that. It's not good.
Especially not for us girls.
No, it's not good. It's not
It's hard
working.
for us.
So I spend time with family, and I've had a lot of things going on with my parents. I'm in the sandwich generation where I'm helping to take care of parents,
Yes.
and then I have two girls, one in junior high and one a senior in high school. And so I think when you have a senior in high school, you're reminded of how fast time goes.
Oh yeah.
And so to your question, how do I relax? I really like to just sit back and watch my kids and be a part of whatever they're doing. We've got a lot of college visits and stuff going on with the oldest. She's a little track star.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'd rather her, you know, sit and you know, she likes old school music. But those are the moments. And of course, I don't want to leave out my husband. He's very busy, but I do enjoy time with him. And had a bad loss last night. But anyway, I like to spend time with my family. That's typical. I like a good shopping spree every now and then.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
that's
I think
all of us.
all women like to do a little shopping when you can.
I think all of us.
I don't buy
when
nothing.
you're out and doing things a lot. Exactly. I like to just chill at home, relax.
Sure.
You know, be
Sure.
with my family, and
Yes.
yeah, do an
Absolutely.
occasional, maybe go shop.
I'm
Yeah.
old. I feel old. I get somewhere and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I never felt like that. I don't know. I mean, well, when I went to see Amanda last night with my buddy, and we came here to Casual Pint. I find myself when I get to a place, I'm like, yo, I'm ready to go. I mean, because of the weather. The weather is old. First and foremost, when it gets dark at 5:30, that just throws all. It just throws me off.
It does.
It just kills my vibe.
Yeah, vitamin D is a thing.
Yes, it
Like
is.
there's science behind that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I take a lot
used to
of
live
that.
in Arizona, and it was I never met one angry person or mean person the whole time I lived there.
It's beautiful.
And I was like, man, everybody's like, hi, how are you? Total strangers. Everybody's
Absolutely.
so sweet. And it's like, it's because of all the sunshine.
Absolutely.
That's why. That's why everybody's so nice there.
I
And
can't-
their cars aren't all messed up because the roads are nice and there's not salt and snow.
Welcome to the Midwest. Wow.
They're
I
still
would.
about the sunshine.
I shouldn't complain. I came from Western New York, like an hour south of Buffalo.
Oh.
I know.
A
So
little bit
Mm.
chilly.
yeah, remaining grateful is a self-care
Yes.
strategy.
Snow all the time. I know it's just stupid cold.
It was
Yeah.
my birthday's in late April, and it snowed on my birthday every year.
Mine's March the 5th, so it's snow. You know, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm to the point, but I feel like when you get to, it's very important that we take care of our bodies when you get older, because the older you get, the harder it gets. And I know that having 4 surgeries already, about to be 5, and just kind of understand, if I could go back, I told my oldest daughter this, because I'm so proud of her. She's, wants to be a teacher now. And I told her, okay. She works at TJ Maxx, and, she got a promotion and stuff. And I said, listen, whatever you do, please do not get into factory work, because the factory work will beat your body up.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to educate my nephew about that.
Yeah.
It's very important. Find something. These young folks, I don't know, they don't have no self-direction. And so I always try to tell my nephew, like, look, find something that you like to, not video games. Get a trade. Do something with
You
your
can make
time.
money in video games, but
You
you gotta
can,
get
but
real
let's
smart at computers.
get your butt up out of the house.
Yeah.
Like, I know when I was younger, I loved being outside.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait till I could work. I started working when I was 16. I was a bus boy and I was a dishwasher.
Yeah.
I love the drive. I love it. And I think I loved it too much because I beat my body up as much. But I want you to educate our viewers about this summer you're going to be doing next year for the 2nd year, right?
Yes.
And we are a part of that, which
Absolutely.
and I want to commend you. And
Amanda,
thank
you coming?
I'm so
Oh, she
excited.
gonna be there. Listen, she is part of the team, and Mr. Brown will definitely be there.
Yeah,
and
he's gonna show up.
Yeah, he gonna show up. We're gonna deal with Mr. Brown later.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I was talking to Nikki about it,
Sure.
and Nikki, I love. She's like a little sister to me. I love what she's doing. And Terry Crosby, love him too.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to educate people about this, because I'm excited for next year.
Sure.
Please tell our viewers about this.
So the Athlete Mental Health Summit is something that happened last year for the first time. It's kind of hard to believe because we did so well. No, but the inaugural summit was last year at Imagination Station. This year it is again at the Imagination Station. We had over 200 students, high school students, attend in the morning from 17 high schools. And you know me, okay, if that's what we did last year, we got to do better this year.
Absolutely.
So we're inviting 300 students this year,
Great.
25 schools. So there's some schools that still need to get back to us. Should I call them out? No,
Yes.
just joking.
You will get an email from
Y'all
her.
answer our emails. It's
Please.
free.
Check your email.
Right.
It's great programming, it's national speakers, and so we got a lot of good feedback last year about some things that we can change. So I will be very transparent. Two things. We gotta have lunch a little later on, because I forgot the high schoolers have lunch at 10:30 a.m.
Yes.
And so to have hungry
can't have lunch
athletes,
that early.
but they don't eat breakfast, so they were starving, right?
yes.
So that was a mishap for
Yes.
sure,
Okay.
and we'll fix that for sure. We even gonna throw in snacks in the morning, so,
Oh, there you
so
go.
we're not gonna have hungry athletes
Yeah,
up
absolutely.
we're gonna have listening, engaging athletes who are not hungry. So the second thing was let's make it more interactive, and not only interactive, but some strategies for now for the high school athletes. So the name of the summit is the Athlete Mental Health Summit, and we were thinking all levels of the athletes. So junior high, you mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
high school and college. But in the morning, it's nothing but high school student athletes who are invited to listen and be a part of the program. And so we had panelists, we had the Penn State National Volleyball Champion, who's from Liberty Benton. She's in transfer portal now, but we love Carrie, and she was the bomb. And so we had student athletes from Tiffin University, from Owens, because parents and this D1 or bust is driving me nuts, right? Because which camera do I look into? Listen, my husband is rarely recruiting from high school, right? Because if you can get a 24-year-old who's got some college experience over a 17, 18-year-old, y'all know the deal, right?
Absolutely.
And so it is harder. It was already harder back in the day when I played.
Absolutely.
I don't remember the percentages, but it was hard to go D1. And it's even harder now.
Mhm.
And so we wanted to include NAIA, junior college, Division 1, 2, and 3. Now, it being in February sometimes makes it hard because you have like football coming off, but they're into like lifting, and everybody's working out at the college level.
Absolutely.
But we chose February because this is for high school students, right?
Mhm.
And that is the month where we have the least amount of sports participation. So
It
we
is.
did our homework,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we wanted this to be student centered. And so I'm happy to say that I just had a meeting with Lords. So their student athletes, I might be jumping the gun and saying this, but they told me that they were excited about this. Their student athletes and some of their coaches might be attending. Tiffin is already down. Tiffin, listen, Tiffin is the bomb. They put their student athletes first.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
I've worked with some coaches there. They are serious about making sure that they are addressing the whole athlete. And so they brought a lot of student athletes last year. So in the morning, it is invite only, and that's the confusion sometimes. So we are inviting high schools all over like Delta, Clay, like we're trying to, the whole gamut of greater Toledo area. And so in the evening, we are inviting other student athletes who weren't selected by their school, along with parents and coaches for the evening. So hold that thought for the evening. But in the morning, we are having the Nickel do a podcast because they said they want it interactive.
Absolutely.
And I almost cussed. And dang it, we're gonna give them interactive.
Absolutely.
Right? We're gonna give them interactive.
Yes.
So for the kids to be able to jump up on stage with you all and tell their stories, and there's been a lot of injuries here lately.
Absolutely.
And so I want kids to talk about the grief process and injury and identity, and there's so much to talk about, and they want to share their voice. Well, gosh darn it, they're going to have an opportunity to do it in their peers. So we're going to have that kind of session. We have another well-known podcaster who's not bringing all this stuff from California, but Brandon Soho is big time. He was a Bengals sideline reporter who had a lot of mental health struggles, and he's very transparent about suicide and other things. And then it's nice when you have friends of the Bengals who are supporting you as well, and I think they encourage him to be an advocate for this. So he's no longer a sideline reporter, but he's a podcaster. He's got all these rappers and NFL players and stuff on it, but they're talking about mental health. So he will be back. So he was a fan favorite. We have anybody who is interested in supporting the whole athlete to be there in the morning and the evening. So we have dietitians who are talking about eating disorders in athletes, because that's the thing that's always swept underneath the table. And we never want to talk about that. And I'm not just talking about wrestling, I'm talking about football and some other sports as well.
Yes.
And so, of course, we're going to have mental health therapists. I had a call last week, and the University of Michigan, I know we're not going to talk about that part of Michigan that's going on, but their athletic counseling department is very robust. I've gone to a lot of colleges. U of M is on it. They got the resources. I think they have close to 15. I might be exaggerating, but they have more than 2 for sure. Therapists that are assigned to all of the teams. They travel with them and all things. And so the director is coming back again, and she's going to bring therapists as well.
Beautiful.
And so one therapist in particular likes to talk about body image and social media. And so we're gonna do that. But we're gonna have fun. We had a DJ last year. Of course, the kids coming back to Imagination Station, they haven't been there in a while.
Yes.
And so you'll see kind of on our flyers, they're like riding the bicycle that goes across, because it's not all listening, because it can be heavy.
Yeah.
So we do have a time where they can eat and kind of get to know each other. They see each other on social media. They think they're supposed to be enemies of each other. Back in the day, listen, I had my rivals. I wanted to knock the head off of some people. When we got off the field and we saw them at the mall, it was so much respect.
Absolutely.
We were excited when they were continuing their athletic career at a such and such college. I think you miss that when you don't get that intimate, personal touch, and it's just social media. So to have all of these kiddos in a very diverse pool, we've got all TPS signed up, all the Catholic schools signed up, and so to have just a variety of experiences in one room. There's not swimming at certain schools. There's not lacrosse and field hockey. I think Woodward's got rugby.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Woodward.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so just to be able to have all of those experiences in one room, and then have the commonality of, Dad, I feel the same way.
Yes.
Even though I go to this school and I play this sport. And so that's the morning. In the evening, and y'all can shut me up, but y'all see I get excited about that.
No, I like
I'm
it.
so
Yeah,
excited
okay.
about this. I've been waiting to hear all about it.
Okay.
This is a beautiful
This
thing.
is good. Okay, so in the evening, last year we had like 4 or 5 sessions, and we talked about this earlier. Toledo got some gems here. Like, we have a lot of retired professional athletes who own breweries and all these things, and they have been very gracious in sponsoring this event and coming in to talk. So last year in the evening, we had several retired professional athletes that played in NFL and Major League Baseball, and they were on panels of like life after sports and what that transition was like afterwards. Then we had a doc talk. So we had sports medicine folks to come in and say, listen, if you want to have your kid be a pitcher at age 7 and specialize in sports, one sport all year long for 8 or 9 years, he's gonna be hurt and burn out. Right? And so there was some data. We need data nowadays, right?
Absolutely.
To support why you want your kid to play more than one sport, so that they're using more than one muscle.
Absolutely.
And you prevent, or there's less injury to occur if these things happen. So we had all these sessions that seemed to be geared towards parents. And so we did have some students that didn't get selected by the high school to show up, and they got something out of it. But I think also they were like, oh, I think this is more for parents. So I take feedback well. I'm a former college coach. You gotta watch film, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you get better. And so this was filmed for us. And so we are doing it, we're having a huge like similar to speed dating. So the evening won't be broken up into sessions. We're having a massive speed mentoring teaching moment. So we will have 50 experts that will travel around. So you have 5 minutes or so. We'll have some cue cards for conversation starters, but you'll be able to ask your questions and hear from that person. there's some NCAA rules with college coaches, but we have NAIA coaches that can do contact face to face, and so they will be part of our 50. And we're hoping to get a variety. Can you imagine sitting in an hour and listening from all these different categories? In an hour, you're able to get that much content.
So much.
Yes, and not falling asleep,
Exactly.
right?
Oh, yeah.
By the same people talking. It's like 5 minutes is up and you're gonna have a new person. And so, super excited about it. Now my committee is like, some of them lack vision. And they're like, how is this going to happen?
Right.
Like who's moving? I'm like,
Right.
we got it. It's like a
They're
1-3-1 zone. We got this.
Absolutely. Just sit back and let us do
Sit back
it.
and it's
And
gonna work.
it
And so
will.
very, very excited. And we will be the largest speed mentoring in the Midwest in athletics to ever happen like that. So
I like that.
And
yeah.
record books too.
Yes. So very creative, very interactive, and the goal at the end of the day is to change the culture of high school sports.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna take a while, but we can do it. We gotta get the coaches in the room.
Mm-hmm.
They have to hear
1000%.
about all of this, so that, because they are the leaders in changing the culture of their team.
Absolutely. And that's where I think it needs to start at. Back in the day when, like we said, back in the day, you can go to your coach about something. Your coach will listen. Even your gym teacher, it didn't matter. The gym teacher usually was the coach sometimes, but I can remember talking to my coach when I played basketball or track, whatever. If something was bothering me, he would know. Now these kids, they're so much on the phone and social media, who's saying this and that, and if they're going through something, they're not talking about it. And that's what I liked about Nikki when she came on a couple weeks ago. She has a great relationship with her players. Same thing with Tiffany Blackman. I commend these young women because that's where it starts at. And
It's something about the women coaches that get it right.
I'm telling you, I say that every time, like anytime.
no
you get a
disrespect
guest.
to the man. No disrespect to the
They just know what
man.
they're doing, and they're
I don't know.
changing- They're changing
Now,
the
there's some
scene.
bad female coaches out there
Oh, yeah.
too.
Oh,
Yes, they are.
Oh, it's
But every woman that I've had that came onto the show, they are doing a terrific job. And I'm not knocking the men. I want to let you know, I'm not knocking y'all.
Yeah.
But the women, Amanda said it too, that the women, I don't know, they got
They
it.
just got it.
They got it.
They've figured it out, and they are changing the script.
Yeah.
You know, like they're
Yeah.
changing the way
Yeah.
things are done, and it's awesome. to see.
And I don't think that they're less tough.
Oh,
You know,
no,
sometimes
absolutely
I
not.
think that's
Yeah, that's
the
definitely not.
narrative
Yeah.
is that, like if I'm gonna be addressing mental health and these feely emotion stuff, then I can't coach them hard.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, no, back in the day we would run through the wall for our coach.
And that's where they give up to that. Man. They give
Because
up
of
to
the
that.
rapport.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well, having something like this, we need something to jumpstart things. And I think this is going to help out with the youth because you were seeing so much going on in high school. I went to my first high school game in years. I went to Start. They were playing a team up in Detroit. It was a great game. Great game. Start pulled it out. Shout out to the girls. They did their thing. And but just watching the girls. I watch girls basketball before I watch men sometimes because they fundamental.
Sure.
And I like the coach at Start, and I like the girl coach at Detroit, interacting with their players. And stuff. I don't know what it was, but that's what I like to see. And so having this summit, I think a lot of people are going to really jump on board of the second year coming on, and we need this. We need something for the structure for these kids.
Yeah.
We're losing too many kids to social media. They're so quick to pick up the phone, and we got to change that.
Yeah.
You still can do that, but we need you to, if something's going on, you got to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Bullying and dealing with the pressures, and I don't like that they're going to try to bring the high school with the NIL. I don't like that.
The other thing to consider too is that NIL, we're talking about the top 3% of athletes, even at the college level.
Yeah.
I think I read last year the average NIL payout was $62 at the college level. But that's not what we see or hear about.
Exactly.
No.
You only hear about the kids
The
with
millions of
dollars.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's a small percentage, and it's like, okay, you're gonna do this in high school. And my daughter's friends were joking with her because she loves Zingos. Shout out to Zingos. I don't know if I can say that or not, but
No, you're fine.
okay. And so when that whole thing passed, her friends text her like, yo, you got an NIL deal in Zingos for sure. Make that happen. Because she done put everybody on at St. Ursula as Zingos, and they get to go eat out on Fridays.
Oh,
Zingos
okay.
probably hates because they be lining up before the to even open up the door, but you know how much work that is? So the majority of female college athletes have NIL deals. They have more deals than the males.
Absolutely.
Because they're setting aside this enormous amount of work that it takes to develop a brand and do all these things in order to get, you know, the dollars from these companies and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, it's here in Ohio. The problem is lack of insight with parents. Because they read something, they think, well, my kid can, what are we waiting for?
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
he might get hurt in college or not make it to college. Now it's time to get the money. And them not knowing all that goes into it. And then you have these pseudo agents running out there. That's not this podcast, right? But it's part of my practice.
It's absolutely
true. I have to educate parents on that.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I think a lot of problem is us parents pushing their kids too hard. I mean, it was like that when I was growing up, but now I think you see it even worse. And it starts when they're so much younger.
Yeah, they're bold with it now.
And I think that educating the parents is the first step.
Yeah.
Or they need to educate themselves before they push their children into something.
Yeah.
You know?
I think a lot of it is like this is, if you didn't make it as a player coming up, and when you have kids, let's not put, you know, you can't live your dream through your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a problem with a lot of parents. You know, I see that, hey, I didn't make it when I was in high school. Your son's probably got that, but dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't put your dreams on your son or on your daughter.
Yeah.
Because now in what we're dealing with is it's so crucial. And these young folks are just they break down.
Yeah.
They break down very easily.
Yeah.
And that's why you see a lot of suicides.
They absorb a lot.
Absolutely.
They
So
absorb a lot.
that's where you come in to educate these parents.
Yeah.
Being a former player and being a coach and all that.
Yeah. When I talk to parents like that, the topic we talk about is regret.
Absolutely.
Regret. So I lay it out. Like,
Absolutely.
what regrets do you have about your athletic career in high school? And when they begin to pour that out, it's very cathartic for them because they're like, oh, I didn't realize how many regrets that I had.
Absolutely.
And that I'm now displacing. Like, I am afraid of my child having the same regrets that I had. And so therefore we push them. You know, I'm guilty of it. Like I look back at my daughter and I go, man, I wish I could have done some things differently.
Absolutely.
I could have worked harder. I could have did less partying. I could, you know, and I'm just like, I don't want you to sit in what I do because regret is not a fun thing.
Absolutely.
In any aspect of life, right? And so we have to keep our thing our thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree fully.
Yeah.
You guys, we're gonna definitely keep you guys posted about this event. This is a beautiful thing. I'm so proud that you're letting us come and be a part of this.
I'm honored that you guys are gonna be there.
Well, you asked me, and
We're gonna have good ratings this
I'll
year.
never forget when he called me and was like, we have something really huge going on. And he told me and I was like, oh my gosh, we were so excited.
I did sound like that
We've been
too.
talking about it ever since.
That's cool.
But you know, and yes, and I'm very grateful for that because having this platform when I started it, when me and Don started it, it was just, you know, just laughing and joking and stuff like that. But then when it was like earlier this year when we started getting guests on and tapping into the city, there's a lot of talent in here and there's a lot of people doing a lot of great things for the city. And I felt like, you know what, once I brought this young lady on and her questions and knowledge of sports and everything and doing the diligence to look into the guests we come on and ask these questions, because a lot of things from Tiffany Blackman, Nick McCoy, Sharice Eulis, Albert Bell, having these young folks on and give them a platform to speak on, there's a lot of things that people didn't know about these people, what they went through, the verses and everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Gift and the curse of what Nikki had to go through, Tiffany had to go through, you know. There was so much that people need to know because they think everything's all smiles and everything. It isn't.
Hunky dory for them.
Exactly.
They don't really understand.
If you can hear what they do, the trials and tribulations that they went through, you can understand, okay, I'm not alone.
And look how they built capacity.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why having you on, you know, and coming to this situation, like I ain't gonna lie, I was excited because if we can help out the young folks, they are our future.
Yes.
I've done my time. You done your time. Amanda, Nick, done their time.
Yeah.
So now we have to pass the torch on to these young folks.
Yeah.
But while we're doing that, we need to help them out on the way because everybody needs a little help now.
Absolutely.
And they're not going to ask you. So you have to
Create
provide
that environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I learned that. You know, I was blessed to have grandparents on my mom's side and on my dad's side. And my mom and dad were very, very strict, but they, kept that around us. And being around aunties and uncles and stuff like
A
that.
village.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to have that because you can't do it all by yourself.
And they weren't over a screen, they were in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's-
That makes a difference.
There's a lot of negativity, not just in our city, but in the entire world.
Yes.
I think it's the worst we've ever seen.
Yes.
It is.
So giving them spaces to be surrounded by love and good things and positive things, I think is awesome. And I love that we've been able to do that a little bit with our podcast, showcase the love
Absolutely.
and the positivity instead of just the bad things you hear all the time.
And inspiration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can do anything you put your mind to it.
Absolutely.
I tell my daughter, I'm proud of both my daughters. My oldest daughter, we have conversations. We talk about this, we talk about that. I told her, listen, never be afraid to fail. Because if you don't fail, you won't succeed. You got to fail to succeed. And I'm so, and I tell that to anybody. They're like, how did you get this started? You got to keep going. Consistency. You have to be consistent.
Absolutely.
And you can't be afraid to fail. And that's why I came with that little, if you live right and do right, you're going to be all right.
That's it.
And that's what it is. Now, we're going to get into these picks. I know you watch a little sports here and there.
Listen, are we talking about Michigan or are we?
No. This is NFL
I do
picks.
not have any of it.
No, we gonna leave that.
Capacity.
I had so many.
Snowball.
I had so many people ask. I said, "Listen, we don't need to talk about anything that's going on in Michigan because that's he's got enough to deal with." So whatever that's. But these are NFL picks. You just pick a team.
I'm glad you didn't say college.
No. We gonna get into college next year a little bit more, but NFL
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
You just pick your team, and I'll start with Amanda, and it comes this way. You just pick the team,
Okay.
and then I got.
I don't
one
watch
thing
anybody
at the end.
but the Bengals.
Well, you and Amanda got a lot to talk about. 'Cause she's a Bengal person anyways. But Amanda, we got Buffalo at New England. Buffalo's 9-4, New England's 11-2. Who you taking? All right.
Where is it at?
It is at New England.
I went
It's
so
cold
back
regardless
and forth
anywhere.
with this one. I went really back and forth with this one.
Oh, you gotta get on the phone then. That's real deep. 'Cause you don't
No,
ever
it's
usually
so
have to do that.
silly. No.
You struggle with that one.
Yesterday I was like back and forth. And I was like talking to people at the bar. And I was like, what do you think? And I was talking to Matt this morning and he's like, I said, Matt, this was my pick. And he's like, why'd you make that pick? You should have made the other pick. And I said, I'm not changing my answer now. So I picked the Bills to beat the Patriots today. And I might be wrong. And I know I sound crazy.
You really struggle with that pick.
Look, I'm looking at the Patriots schedule and I'm looking at the Bills schedule. I'm just looking at how they play. The Bills stomped us down last week, a game that we should have beat them in. Joe Burrow just kind of lost it for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that the Patriots can hit a roadblock with the Bills. Josh Allen, he just announced he's got that baby coming on the way. Somebody's riding a high. I do think the Patriots can hit a roadblock today with the Bills, and I think the Bills are more of a second half team.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure the Patriots are winning right now.
24-21.
Oh, that's
Patriots.
better than I thought.
Patriots.
That's better than I thought it was gonna be. It was
Okay.
0-14 last time I looked. Okay, we'll see what happens. My picks are never right.
Okay. Janelle?
Okay. Oh, we do the same game.
You gotta do the same game. I need your expertise.
Bills, Patriots.
There's only four games we picking from. So
Okay,
So pick your game. Who you want to take?
So I lived an hour south of Buffalo. We talked about this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really have a good time in that area. So I'm going I mean,
Okay.
St. Bonaventure was nice. That's where my husband coached at the time. We won a lot. But there's a lot of Buffalo Bill fans. So I'm going the other direction.
New England.
Yes.
Foxborough.
Yeah.
They've been on a tear. I think what are they, 2 losses? Only 2 losses.
10-2.
10-2.
Okay.
I did struggle with this pick when I was getting this all together. But I like Josh. I do like Drake May too. I did watch his little story and stuff about his kids. I mean, I think Josh is gonna pull it out. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna take Josh. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Second game we have the Colts at Seattle. The Colts are 8-5. Now let me tell y'all something before. And Seattle's
I
10
know
and
where
3.
I'm going.
They went and got a 44-year-old man, grandfather off the bench. I love Phillip Rivers.
He
He
is a
does not
good
cuss, and I love that
person.
about him. Because you ain't got to cuss to explain how you feel. But they went and got a 44-year-old. I'm 48. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because the first time he get a hit, his bones gonna shatter. I think. I don't know. But Amanda,
Man, this is one. Look, I went with the Seahawks.
Quarterback.
I went with the Seahawks. I don't think.
44-year-old
I'd
quarterback.
love to see it. I would love to see it, but I really don't think Phillip Rivers, starting quarterback at 44 years old, that scares me.
He ain't played in
Scares
5
me.
years.
He hasn't played in a while. I'm nervous. I'm worried about him. The Seahawks are just too well-rounded, and I think they're going to beat the Colts today.
Okay.
So does the Colts offensive line resemble the Bengals offensive line?
No, they are good.
Okay,
No, the Colts are actually, yeah, the Colts are.
so we
right
might
going on.
protect that 44-year-old
Yeah.
man. Listen, my husband is from Elkhart, Indiana.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Home of the Jacksons.
So, that's Gary.
Oh,
But
Gary,
it's
I'm sorry,
close,
okay,
but
yeah,
it's
sorry.
close.
Yeah.
Home of Sean Kemp.
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
Rain
So he
Man,
played
yes.
at the same high school that. Listen, you can't live in my family and not say Colts. Okay? So that's why I'm picking the Indiana Colts.
Indianapolis Colts. Okay.
Yeah.
You got a 44-year-old man coming off the
You
couch.
said that
He might
already.
ball on.
44-year-old man.
Happen.
He's
He-
protected.
I'm not gonna touch that. I
Oh,
like
that
Phillip
would be great
Rivers.
for
I
us.
love Phillip Rivers. I love his tenacity and everything. But you are 44 years old coming off the couch. You have not played football in 5 years. You were coaching high school
He's
kids.
got a lot of kids to pay for.
Absolutely. You have 10 kids. But that's not the problem. The problem is you ain't took a hit in 5 years.
How did he get the position? He must have
They
been
reached
good.
out. They must have
They
reached
called
out
him
to
up.
him and everything. But
Wow.
they lost their quarterbacks getting broke up.
Him and the head coach have a really,
Oh, yeah.
really close rapport
Absolutely.
over the years. He
Okay.
knows the offense. He knows their system already.
Okay.
I'm like this. I'm not gonna touch
It's
that.
like riding a bike, apparently.
I hope he does.
Well, you get hit the first time. It's gonna let you know when you get hit. I'm gonna take the Seattle Seahawks because they got good defense. He gonna work today.
Okay.
If he,
That ground's gonna be hard and cold in
I'm
Seattle.
telling you. Third game we got Green Bay. That's 9-3, 9-3-1 at Denver, which is 11-2. Amanda.
Well, I went with the Packers on this one.
Okay.
Just because Micah Parsons and Gary are gonna limit what the Broncos can do today. Bo Nix is gonna have to be really quick with this pass game today, or they're gonna have to run it.
True.
So I picked the Packers over the Broncos.
This should
I was just sitting here thinking, if somebody said I'm gonna give you $1,000 if you can name a player on either team,
That's why I take my little.
I'd be broke. Like I wouldn't
Mess up.
have the
I wanna mess up
$1,000.
names.
I've been real busy helping student athletes.
Okay.
So I don't particularly care for cheesehead folks, so I'm gonna go Denver.
Okay, that's good.
It's in Denver.
FTB.
It's in Denver.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take Denver myself. It's at Denver. You know, Bo Nix, I like him. He's a tough
He's good.
cookie. He's tough. He's like Baker, but they kind of make the same mistakes. But I'm definitely gonna take him. Green Bay, you know, I took them a couple times. They did help me out, but I'm gonna take Denver. I think Denver's gonna really put it to them today. And our last one, Detroit Lions, which is 8-5. They're at the Rams, which is 10-3. Now you got to remember these two quarterbacks. Remember a couple years ago they swapped teams.
Mhm.
So you know, Goff was playing for the Rams. Stafford was at Detroit. Stafford was getting beat up a lot in Detroit.
Are they playing in Detroit or LA?
They're playing in LA,
Okay.
so I'm sure LeBron will be there because he plays whichever. He's always at the games.
At the Rams?
He goes to all the
Absolutely.
Rams games.
Absolutely, I've seen him. They show him in the press box a couple times. Right
That's
now.
interesting.
And you know, they got money like that, I guess.
I guess.
You know, you can do whatever you want. Mr. Mann, what you gonna do? What you gonna take?
This is another one I really went back and forth with.
It's a tough game.
But it honestly my decision just came down to the injuries for the Lions. It's hard with them not having Branch.
Yeah.
And two names that scare me on the Rams. Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua.
I ain't gonna lie
And I
about
am
that.
worried
Two
about
good
those
receivers.
two. And I'm afraid they are gonna run all over the Lions today. I hope I'm wrong, but I picked the Rams.
Mr. Janelle.
Detroit.
Ooh, good deep.
I always pick the Lions, but I'm
Nick
really
love that because
good.
he's a
I'm
big
really
Lions
good.
fan.
No hesitation. I love it.
I like that.
They're gonna be excited to be in warm weather. It's over.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was really leaning towards the Lions, and then they got so many people hurt.
I'm worried about their injuries.
But Devontae Adams is got a second win in his life. He's killing. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Sorry, Nick. No disrespect. I'm gonna go with the Rams. You know, Stafford's looking real good right now. He just, I mean, they beat up on my team, and I don't know what we got. I'm gonna just pray for my boys, but I'm definitely gonna take the Rams. So that concludes our picks. But the last one we have, another question for you. It's the very last question. It's called the nickel moment. So what was a changing point in your life? It could be, you know, going from a college player doing whatever. What was a changing point in your life?
I'm actually gonna pick probably one of the most challenging things in my life. There's hope. Been on this earth for a while. There's been a lot, but it was such a learning moment, and I think it was a turning point for me in the fact that I started to believe I could do hard things. So I was a 3-sport high school athlete. Really, really athletic, and you know, state champ in hurdles, and actually soccer was my first sport. And so I went to Xavier on a soccer visit, and thought that that's what was going to go down. I didn't pick up a basketball until 9th grade in high school, and the only reason why I did is because I'm from Cincinnati. And we moved out to Westchester. Before there was an IKEA and Exits, there was just cows and nobody that really looked like me. Okay. And so there was a lot of racism, and especially I was Pele on the soccer field, right? So they really did not like. You don't know who Pele is?
Oh, I know who Pele is.
Okay.
I know who Pele is.
Okay.
I know who Pele is.
So there was a lot of racial slurs happening. Just a lot of ugliness. At points, it was unsafe, right? And to think that in the 90s that was the case, but it was. So we were talking about coaches for a while. My high school coach, who was my soccer coach, also was the basketball coach, which made it easier back in the day to share athletes, which they don't do enough of nowadays, right? Because everybody's got to go do individual training and all of that. So she said to me, "You're going to play basketball," and she said, "You'll be fine." And I shouldn't have made the JV team, but I did. I mean, I was quick, but I couldn't dribble. I couldn't do anything. When I had conversations with her later on, I found out that she wanted to protect me, right? She did not want me to be away from her because of the racial stuff that was going on. And this was a Caucasian lady who is significant impact in my life. And so I go to Xavier on a soccer visit, and the basketball coach comes to my house and recruits me as a project. It's clear that I'm a project, right? But in those 4 years, I've learned how to use my soccer feet to steal the ball and pray nobody fouls me when I go to lay it up, because I can't shoot, right? So I get to Xavier, and I'm playing basketball because my parents say full ride, and we get to sit indoors.
Perfect.
I got nothing wrong with that.
We're going inside, and you're gonna get this full ride, right? And back in the day, you listened to your parents had a lot to say. It's a little different nowadays, right?
Absolutely,
They had a lot to say, right?
They did.
So I show up to Xavier only to find out that this coach who sat in front of me, who's a good guy, and said, "We're going to work with you. You know, we understand your limitations," left. And guess where he went? Went to Toledo, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And so I inherited a coach who was from Division II level, who was looking at me like, "You belong where I used to be," right? And so that first year was devastating, and it was very hard. Imagine being somewhere that you're not wanted.
Absolutely.
Right? And I wasn't going nowhere. My parents were like,
You gotta deal with this. You gotta deal with this. You gotta deal with
you're
this.
gonna deal with this.
One way or
And
another,
so,
you're gonna deal with this.
It was a hard year. Like when you think about like individual shooting sessions with an assistant coach and you don't know how to shoot, like it was, these are new staff. It's not anyone who knows my limitations. And so to have all of kind of these uncomfortable emotions at the same time, embarrassed, and the number one was feeling guilty because I had other friends on campus at Xavier who could barely afford to be there. And I didn't have the right to complain about getting everything paid for. Unlimited meal swipes. Like, you know, they're working 3 or 4 jobs to get a meal plan.
Just to maintain, yeah.
And here I am. I had no opportunity. I felt like I did not deserve to complain or even feel the way I was feeling. Because I would be an ungrateful spoiled child if I did so. And so I had to navigate a lot of things. And going to a counselor to talk about how embarrassed I was and to know that I probably could have started on the soccer field. So regret, we talked about regret earlier, have all these feelings and express those in front of an adult. I didn't think I was allowed. I didn't have permission to do that. And I think it was that experience that propelled me into my purpose of giving permission to student athletes to feel however they feel. It was that moment where I decided, I think I want to help people because I'm not sure there's anybody who's here that's helping me. Because everyone said, oh, you're so blessed. You should be so grateful for this opportunity. Xavier's a wonderful school. And I was having a lot of internal turmoil. And so that is my nickel moment.
Okay.
In 1995 too, put that 5 on it.
I was 1995. I was a junior in high school.
You were?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
I was. I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great nickel moment.
Thank you.
That is a great nickel moment, and I think when I came up with that nickel moment because I want the viewers to understand when they hear the guests that come on to let them know that we are vulnerable. We got things we want to share. So I want them to put it out there so that if you're watching this, you're not the only one going through something.
Yeah.
Because we all go through something.
Yeah.
You know, with myself is I'm always smiling, but you don't know what I'm dealing with all the pain. So that is a great nickel moment.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Can I also say that
Absolutely.
I still guard anybody though, so maybe I could.
You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to guard me. I don't have no problem.
Don't get it twisted though. Like I still understand the game.
Absolutely.
I was able to get some minutes in.
Absolutely.
Well, them days is over for me. I ain't got no minutes. I am out of minutes. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on today. Appreciate it. You guys, we can't wait till next year to do the summit thing. I'm gonna keep you guys informed with that because this is a beautiful thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Once
In
again-
February, so
in
we're
February.
saying next year, but we got less than
Yeah.
60
It's
days.
literally- I know you
February.
guys
Yeah.
didn't say next year, but
Yeah.
February the 28th.
Yeah.
28th?
February 23rd.
23rd. Okay.
And you can get tickets they're like $10 tickets for the evening, for that mentoring and panelists and all the things, on all of my websites and Agility Council Group and Eventbrite. So there's my little commercial. Thank you.
All right.
And we're gonna be talking about it every single podcast.
I love it. Love
We
it.
will, and up until that time come, we gonna talk about it. We're gonna
I'm
let you know.
excited.
I'm very
I'm
excited.
excited.
We all excited. I know I am.
We gotta do something for the Wake kids, cause y'all got the nickel and.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We can cook something up.
Yeah. Does Clay count or no?
Yeah,
So the funny thing about it is people ask me, they like, you went to Clay? I said, well, I was always hanging at my cousin's house, man, playing basketball with my cousin Aaron. Shout out to my cousin Aaron Peacock. So, you know, I was always at my auntie's houses and stuff like that. But I would say, no, Clay is not the nickel. It's 43616 is the area code. I lived in 436,
Okay.
but I spent a lot of my time.
Okay.
So that's
It's
what
still
it is.
the east side, or
Definitely.
no?
Well, some people from Clay would say no, they're not.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's Clay's a little different from Wake. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a lot different from
it
Wake,
is.
but
It really is. They
they're
want to
really close
consider
together.
themselves as we out here. We out in the boondocks. They in the city. So
Yeah.
it's all good. It's
They
all
got
good.
athletes. I know
Absolutely. We had great athletes when I was in high school. So Thank you for coming. I really appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me.
Oh, absolutely. So I'll keep you guys informed about that. I will be on your neck about it. So please be ready and get your tickets, and I'll keep you informed. You know what I'm saying? If you live right, do right, you're gonna be all right. See you later. Thank you so much.
Sorry for